Greetings, it is a brew day. It was a brew day. It's 10 o'clock at night at the minute. I just came out here and I seen everything sitting. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was on a brew day earlier on. I basically went straight to bed. It's a long story. Chopping firewood. I was doing like, man stuff, man's work the day before, and I'm racked. I'm absolutely racked. I'm not fit for it. Not fit for doing that. I sit behind a desk all day. Come on, you can't expect me to bloody chop wood and stuff without it having problems. Okay, so this is what we brewed today. 1058. 1058, that is, my god. That's gonna be a big beer. This is, well, actually, I think the recipe is 1057, so we're up. We are up. So this is a stout, okay? It's half a stout and it's half an IPA. And even as I was brewing it, I was thinking, is this a wise idea? What is this gonna turn out like? Originally, I couldn't decide between an IPA and I really wanted a black IPA, but I wanted a stout as well. So I thought, I had this amazing idea that I was going to combine the two of them, and yeah, that's what we've done today. Just the smell of the stout, the wort in the pot is just fantastic. So I'm hoping for the best. So I don't know whether this is a good idea or not, but it's basically half the recipe is a stout, and the other half is hopped like an IPA. So in terms of the grain bill, 4.5 kilos, which is 80%, Golden Promise pale malt. We got 4.5% brown malt, chocolate malt, rye malt, standard crystal going in, and then just over 2% of that is roasted barley as well. So that is the grain bill. So that's definitely a stout. Maybe minus the rye. I'm not really sure why I put rye in there at all. Don't actually know, but I did. So that's definitely a stout, right? And then the hops. This is a 23. This turned out 23 liters actually. This was, and then the hops I put in 366 grams of hops in the 22 liters of a stout. So we've used Tomahawk, which is Columbus in another name. The bitter, and then everything else is Citra, because I've still got like kilo upon kilos of Citra of that 5 kilo Citra bag I bought, and I really need to get through it. So yeah, so we threw on the Citra 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. We threw in 100 grams of flame out, dear god, and then there's going to be another 100 grams of a dry hop. Absolutely mental. And then we are going to be fermenting with lager yeast, because that's all I've got. It was that, or it was the saturated yeast. But we'll go with a lager yeast and see. So that's our Einstein. So yeah, that's it's a bit more than I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Mashed at 68 degrees. I've already pitched the yeast there. We're doing it at 17. It's under pressure. It's in the pressure fermenter. So I tend to do, unless I'm doing specific lagers, whatever that means, unless I'm doing like a proper lager, I'll do it at lager temperatures. I don't know what that means. But usually under pressure I'll do, so say if I'm doing a New Zealand Pilsner, okay, I'll do 2 batches. One batch will be at lager temperatures. I'll be pitching it, so usually between 10 and 12 degrees. And then the other batch will be at ale temperature, so more 17, 18 degrees. Because it comes out really clean. And you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference, I don't think, between it and like a proper lager. In terms of taste anyway. And then that gives me time. That means that'll be done in like 10 days, say. And then I can get it in the keg, whereas with a lager yeast it'll be a couple of weeks at least. So yeah, 17 degrees is that now, and then I'll crank it up as we go on during the week. And then that will help to let it ferment out. I think we get up to 21 or 22 degrees, something like that. So yeah, So I'm interested to see what it's going to be like. I don't know. It is a bit concerning. No idea what I'm doing. It looks like 1060 now actually. Although it is sitting, it's not the warmest. Let me taste it and see. Now, obviously it's unfermented wort, but you do get a little bit of kick from the hops. I think it was something like 50 ABU, something like that. 55 ABU, wow. I mean, we could have pushed it up another little bit, I think, but yeah, so it's going to be a big one, 5.8%. We reckon, and that's finishing gravity of 1013 from 1057. So obviously there might be a little bit of play. I'm a point up, and we may finish a point down, maybe even. So could be 6%. So this is our hoppy stout. Now I've just found out that it's not really a hoppy stout. Hoppy stout's not really a style in the BJCP. It is more India export stout, whatever that is. That's what this is. I'm claiming, or just a hoppy stout. Let's call it a hoppy stout. So yeah, there it is. It looks like a stout. Big creamy head on it as well too, which is nice. I'm keeping it off the gas so I can get more of a. I don't want it fizzy because it's a stout, obviously. And yeah, I'm just topping it up now and again. Excellent. Looking good. Good bit of lacing on it as well too. Okay. The aroma. I'm going to do my best to describe this because I haven't worked out what it tastes like. Smell is, you're definitely getting a bit of the roast, like a coffee aroma, but also those hops in there. Now, the combination of the hops, which is like the citra, so I'm getting that kind of grapefruit, and the coffee from the malt, and it's making me think, oh, like it's like mint almost. I mean, it's not. It doesn't smell like mint, but it kind of, that's what it makes me think of. Rich chocolate mint, like an after eight actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, like an after eight, that kind of thing. Another way you open the box and you just get hit with this. Whew. It's a little bit like that, but it's not like that at all at the same time. No, I don't know what I'm talking about either, but it smells pretty good. That head's starting to die away, look. So yeah. The lacing isn't though, my god. Okay, cheers. In fact, I've got the recipe in front of me. Like, let me have a look at it because it's been in the keg a couple of weeks now. So, Golden Promise, brown malt, chocolate malt, rye in there as well. I put rye in it. Wow. Standard crystal and roast barley. So it's a rye stout, isn't it? It is quite smooth. Good body on it. It's definitely a stout. 5.5% it finished out on as well too. So if I'm drinking it in a night, I can really feel it. A good bit of bitterness on that as well too. The body's quite big on it, so it's disguising it almost. But you can taste the bitterness on the back. Obviously from those hops, the citra. It does taste like a stout, okay. It has this taste of like dark chocolate or something like that. I'm wondering how long that's gonna last as the hops start to fade. I wonder what it's gonna turn into. But right now, it does have that kind of dark chocolate taste to it. really chocolatey. Little bit of coffee in it, not so much. There's more kind of on the aroma. On the hops, I think I would like. I would, if I was doing it again, I think I would like maybe another flavor in there. And so instead of putting all citra in it, I would like a little bit of like an orangey type of flavor, like Centennial or something like that. Because I always usually have Centennial here, and yeah, I haven't got it this time, and I could really do with some. But that kind of chocolate orange thing would be really good in that. It's 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 not bad. It's not bad. It's not a brilliant beer. I think it definitely could be improved. But the Citra is, it's not giving me enough of the of like a really clean hop flavor to it, which I thought it might have. I was hoping that it might have a little bit of, there's a little bit of citrus in it, but I was expecting something a bit more clean. I remember getting a stout years and years ago. It must have been when the first year or two, whenever I started this channel. Like, so that's like 10 years ago. We're talking 9 years ago. And I got a stout from Paul. Paul is here brewing. Hello, Paul, if you're out there somewhere in the ether. And he put like I don't know what the hop was, but it was like I presume it was like Cascade or something like that. And I had this really nice taste of Cascade in it, and I was kind of hoping for something like that. It's not quite there. It's not quite. I think it is something I want to try again, maybe. If I can get the ABV down. I wanted a hoppy stout. It is hoppy, but there's not enough. There's not enough of the coffee and chocolate from the stout end. It is in there, but there's not enough of the kind of citrus from the hops. It is in there, but there's not enough of it. So it's not one thing or the other. You know, it's not a black IPA, which is what I wanted, and it's not a stout, which is what I wanted. It's kind of this in between, which shouldn't be a surprise because it is an in between beer. So I think it's decent. It's not bad at all. It just needs a little bit of tweaking. So what we want then, as I said before, we want a nice clean, maybe flavour from the hops. It's a bit muddled at the minute, but we also want the kind of chocolate notes. So I'm thinking we'll still use Citra, but we'll top it up with a little bit of Centennial. I think because Centennial, I love Centennial hops. Okay, and they always give that real orange flavour, and I think that would work. The orange would come through a lot more, a lot better, maybe, in that kind of beer. So I think I will do version 2 of that. I'm really loving the dark beers this time of the year. It's like I got a case from Vocation, and they're naughty, and you know that naughty and nice stout they have, the chocolate stout, and they do all the different ones. Now, they do use quite a lot of lactose, which I'm not a huge fan of. But I've been drinking quite sweet beer as it goes with the well, I'll tell you about that at some other point. But yeah, I'm really digging the stouts. This is good. It's not quite what I wanted though. I was hoping for. I'm not really sure what I was hoping for. I wanted a black IPA. I wanted a stout, and that's literally what I've got here. But it's just not quite working. We'll switch out the yeast as well too. So we used the lager yeast in this, which potentially had has had some kind of effect on it. Maybe it's just left it a bit too clean, and we need a little bit of something else in there. So we will try it again. We'll switch out the yeast for something for like USO5 or something like that, and see where we end up. But you know, as far as version 1 goes, I think it's decent. It's definitely something that can be built on. The rye that's in there as well too, I'm not sure I would add the rye the next time. I think that was a bit of an excess. So as well as adding the Centennial, we'll drop the rye. We'll make it like a proper stout. Because you are getting the loads and of the chocolate from the brown malt and the chocolate malt in there. The combination of that and a little bit of the crystal is actually quite nice. But the rye is kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's muddling the flavors sort of. And rye really works well with, you know, like citra hops and any kind of citrus hops. But yeah, in a stout, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so it's not perfect, but it's not terrible either. So I suppose that's some kind of victory anyway. So yeah, cheers, me dears, and yeah, happy Christmas, and I'll see you at some point. Who knows when.